What is up, our Will Phil number one fans and viewers? This is Scott Casey Gale, Will Phil number one. Today, I'm gonna give you my recap and review of Prison Break Resurrection Season 5, Episode 5, entitled Contingency. It was directed by Guy Ferland, and it was a really good episode. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Prison Break Resurrection begins tonight with Sarah Tancredi, played by Sarah Wayne Callies, going to a payphone and calling her husband Jacob Antones, played by Mark Burstein. She tells him she is shopping in town and will see him when he gets home. Theodore Teabag Bagwell, played by Robert Nepper, meets us showing a photo of Jacob meeting with the enemy. Sarah is shocked, but Teabag didn't hear much of the conversation other than her name, Michael Cena, played by Wentworth Miller, and their son, played by Christopher Mike Cooper, names. She races off to get her son. Michael and the escaped convicts are surrounded by military upset and must hide as people see the news and recognize them. A mass has gathered to mourn the death of their leader, Abu Wami, who was played by Newman Aker. They vowed not to rest until his murderers are captured by saying they have no safe in harbor in Yemen. They offer 10 million while to anyone who reveals where they are. Michael, his brother Lincoln Bowes, played by Dominic Purcell, and the escapees find a place to hide out from the angry mob looking for them. Michael is giving orders on how to get out of the country when Link tells him his plans are redundant as ISO now controls every road and train station in the city. Lincoln tells everyone that the only option is the airport and they need to contact Benjamin Miles Sino Franklin, played by Rockman Dunbar. Michael continues to insist his plan will work when Link shoves him in another room, shuts the door, and saying they shouldn't be talking about this, and demands to know how he is alive and what really happened to him, and they are not leaving until he knows the entire truth. Michael breaks down saying he had to fake his death and go away as part of the deal he made. He had to do deep undercover work for Poseidon. Then they could all go free. And Link is confused, but because he thought they were exonerated. Michael says a few weeks before he has to marry Sarah, he received a call where Poseidon said they didn't have legal jurisdiction to exonerate their crimes. So unless he went to work for him, they could all be thrown back in prison. The other inmates debate on whether they should leave now or wait until Link and Michael are done talking. They fear that ISO is almost upon them. Michael explains that Poseidon is a psychopath who is in the CIA and felt he could do better than his superiors. He created a cell within the CIA called a 21 Void, implementing his own intelligence operations he needed. Michael's helped breaking out terrorists in prisons all over the world. Michael did it to make sure Lincoln's record was expunged. The one catch was he wasn't allowed to have contact with any of them, including his own son Mike. That is how Michael Schofield died. He wasn't allowed to contact anyone, and they made sure he didn't by having Sarah incarcerated and beaten. He quickly gave in so no one in this family would have to face a day in prison again. They are interrupted by gunfire as they run. They argue about airport or train station. At the airport, C-Note and Sheba, played by Inba Lavi, are struggling to get through the crowds with their tickets. She fears people are going to die there today and says they need another option. She says they need to contact Omar. Cena protests by saying they cannot leave because Michael and Lincoln are coming there. She says the airport is no good for them, and he remains steadfast in not leaving. ISO soldiers jump on their trucks and rush the airport. C-Note notices the pilot and tells Sheba to follow and not lose the pilot. Cena orders him to stay down. As he chases after the pilot, the airport is filled with terrorists. The pilot hides his course as another truck of terrorists point up their guns at him. And Cena, Sheba, and but what's just over saying the infidels that killed Wamal are inside the airport. She distracts the two gunmen long enough for Sino to subdue them. The pilot wants to know why they saved him. Sino explains that they need his help. The only way out is by air. There's a small plane in the hangar and Sino wants to use that escape. Meanwhile, back in the United States, Sarah rushes home to get Mike, but before she has a chance to leave, Jacob returns home. She tells Mike to get into the car and tells him to stay there no matter what. She confronts Jacob about the photo on the phone and he tells her that he was sick with worry and wanted to protect the family. He had someone do a deep dive on her phone. Once he found the information, he called him. Sarah doesn't believe he did this for her. She gets into her car and quickly drives off. Michael, Lincoln, and the prisoners arrive at the train station. He tells them to keep their heads down as they sneak into the station. Link says they should go to the airport, but Michael says they are loading cargo here, and the train will take them straight north without ISO. Checking into the cargo again. Link says it is suicide, but Michael tells him to keep their gaze down to be modest and that they can get on the train. Taysa is working with ISO and figures out since the roads are blocked, they would need another way to cross the border. And he points to the train route on the map. Sarah takes Mike to her friend Heather's, played by Krista Ballant, place. She is struggling for life being a total lie. She attempts to calm Sarah by saying she is traumatized by recent events and lack of sleep. She reveals it was Michael on the video, but Jacob is a good man too. While they talk, Jacob calls and leaves a message. Sarah feels he is tracking her, but Heather brushes her concerns off, asking for information about the computer tech who hacked the phone. Just as Michael and the men are set to board the train, one of the gunmen wants Lincoln's boots. Instead of handing them over, Link smashes a box on his head, and the prisoners escape under one of the trains. Michael yells for the guys to get on the other side of the train. Train has another approaches as they escape into a tunnel on the other side, but not before Yassar takes a photo of them. He calls his leader, telling him to bring the guns and he will stay on them, as he is the one in charge though. At the airport, the pilot confirms that they have enough fuel to get out of Yemen, but they aren't sure that he can fly the old plane. Michael and Lincoln continue to argue as Link admits he resents his brother that our decisions have cruelly affected everyone around him. Michael says he can't break down right now and needs to focus on the plan just like in Fox River. Lincoln says the airport is the only way. Michael continues to say the airport may be the right choice, but he trusts his instincts and his gut. And he says they can still make it out of the north. Everyone agrees that Michael was the one to bet on him since he was the one that got them this far. Heather and Sarah find Andrew, who confirms he did a data dive on a phone and was able to track their signature they left behind. It gives him a cell number and a current location. Heather's phone rings. Sarah takes the call and it's Jacob. He is at Whitney's Heights police station and begs her to come there. As they try to escape the city, Yassar crashes into the vehicle and they quickly realize ISO has caught up to them. The men flee the car and attempt to hide in the buildings. Michael tells them they need to go downstairs to find a way as everyone else is destroyed by rubble. Sarah arrives at the police station, but Jacob asks her to come with him. She is brought to a lineup and asked to identify who shot her home and husband. She quickly identifies them after looking back at Jacob, and she confirms her answer. Michael wants to continue to finding an excitement, but Lincoln says they need to back down. Down in one of the hospital rooms, they search for weapons as Jar, played by Rick Yoon, turns on his music and drinks the bottle of alcohol. Michael tries to push one of the grates open, leading to the street, but when they hear the ISO men enter the building, they prepare to fight. Sid, played by Kuno Sharma, shares his first love and how he was executed. He he begs to be killed by his own knife to end the suffering, but his lover, played by Shana, but refuses, saying he is not in the wrong for being gay. They are. Jar returns and takes the cylinder. They're walking away, singing Queens, We Are the Champions. Michael sobs under the grate, admitting he should have come to Lincoln for help when Poseidon offered him the deal. He wanted to make things better for everyone. It only made things worse because he became a ghost in his own life. Lincoln comforts him and says he is the smartest person he knows. He cannot carry the load of his shoulders alone. He insists they have to share the burden. Michael agrees. Jacob reveals the truth to Sarah, saying he had to do whatever he could do to protect her. He wanted to be her white knight but failed at it. He thought the killers would respond to money. He apologizes for putting her through all this and she hugs him. Lincoln hands Michael a wrench. He scoffs as they have a wrench and pipe against AK-47s. Lincoln tells him it will be fun since he always wanted a crack at these bastards. Together they barge down the highway, and as ISO approaches, but as they quickly turn back and hear Josh singing, he pours alcohol all over the floor and sings louder, drawing them closer. They begin to shoot at a jacket and baseball hat dropped over a skeleton. Then it's dropped through the cylinder. It explodes as it's withered by bullets. Both Michael and Lincoln jump back at the explosion and burning tails. Jack continues to sing as the others look on with surprise. Once outside the building, the prisoners are praising Ja for his actions. Said his ISO is like roaches and they will be filling the arena soon. Michael says he is taking a break from making decisions, says that they are following Lincoln's suggestion go to the airport. Lincoln calls Cino, letting him speak to Michael. He says he has a lot of explaining to do, but they need to hurry up. Link says they will be a 20-minute, but Cino doesn't know if they can wait that long, as ISO men are now outside shooting. Michael tells him to wait for them. Lincoln tells him they need to get moving, and suddenly Yasar shoots towards him. He manages to shoot Sid and continues to taunt him about killing the rest of the infidels. Sid's lever jumps on Yasar, who stabs him in the leg. Sid manages to use the handcuffs he found to cuff Yasar to him. When Sid dies, Michael attacks Yasar, beating him almost to death. Jar grabs Michael by saying Yasar will suffer for surviving. Yasar screams as they will all die. At the airport, the pilot says they are running out of time. Sheba says that she owes Lincoln her life. But now they have a choice. Cino asks him to wait 5 more minutes. The pilot turns on the engines of the plane and doesn't want to wait. He says his friends could still make it to safety, but they don't leave now. They will not. ISO shoots their guns at the plane as they head to the airstrip. Lincoln and the escapers arrive at the airport fence, but Link tells Cino to leave now to save him. And the children, they will figure something else out as they have been through worse. C-Note apologizes to Lincoln. Sheba attempts to tell Lincoln something out, but the phone cuts out. ISO shines and the truck lights on them, and they run away to hide. And I would give this episode 4.5 stars, 2 thumbs up. Wow. Michael working for Poseidon. I really liked how Michael explained his death. It was shocking that the late Paul Kellerman's exoneration didn't work the way they wanted to, but it was quite a shocker that I didn't see coming. So what's gonna happen in episodes 6, 7, 8, and 9? What's gonna happen in the 4 remaining episodes? Comment down below in the comment section and tell me what you thought about this episode. What do you think is gonna happen? You know who to subscribe to. You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out.